Alrighty, we've gotten this far. What I thought I'd do is put the articulations and all the kind of meaty stuff in here. First of all, I usually, when I do this, again, this is an ensemble. It's a shout chorus, one chorus of blues. The lead trumpet is kind of above the staff here. And so I'm going to put the articulations in. So if I was playing this line, and I'll grab my trusty soprano saxophone, my old con. So playing the line, I'm going to the lead trumpet line. Okay, so I have that much. Ooh, I forgot to voice out one here. Here's my chromatic movement into here, so get this guy in here. Chromatically moving up to this, whatever note is here. So it'd be like an E chord moving up to an F chord. So first thing I do, ba da da da. I mean, that'd be kind of standard. So I'm going to put a long here, and then this ba da da da. I put a cap on that, and then ba da da da. So here's three notes which are all long, and then the last one is ba da da, and then da 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 da. So these are all short. Da 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 da. Accent. Be da da da. I go be ba da 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 da. So these two are short. And then I'll put an accent here. I know I probably overdo it, but you know, it's worth having. And then we'll put a crescendo here. But most big bands will do that automatically. So, but I'll put it in. Ba-da-da. So this is long, long, and then accent. It's a fall off, and then I put my fall offs on. This fall off on this particular program. This is Mosaic. Yeah, you're going to wonder, what is that? Well, it's an old program, but it works great. And so you kind of have to kind of set these guys. It's kind of silly. There we go. And then I have an accent here, ba da 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 da, and the last note is short. Well, they're going to play it short anyway, but just for the fun of it. And then ba ba, so this is short. And then accented. And then ba da 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 da. So these two are short. And then da 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 da. And then everything after this is actually short too, except for the last note. So this is, you can just highlight all these. Those are all short. And then I'll put an accent on this last note. And then my frantic fall offs. they never go where they're supposed to. That's the program, but that's okay. It just takes me a second to fix them. For those of you who think this is boring, this is my version of crossword puzzle or reading a book, and this is my downtime for me. This is just so much fun to kind of create music like this. So I've created all my articulations. I should put the dynamic marking here, which is we'll put F. Da, da, da. It's a nice dynamic marking. So I finished my brass on my tune. Let me save here. And so what I'm going to do is do my saxophones. And this is how I do my saxophones. I enjoy, and stems from the old Count Basie band, where the lead alto would play what the lead trumpet did down an octave, and that really holds things together, especially with kind of weaker bands. It reinforces the melody. So I'm going to copy the last 5 parts here. Fourth trumpet, all the bones, boom, and I'm going to copy that. So I have those, and then what I'm going to do is paste that all here. So that's how I do my saxophones. Now I do have to go through and look at the baritone part and see what notes the baritone, bass trombone can play lower than the baritone. So here's one where I'm going to bring this up an octave. He's still on the roots. And anything else that I need to fix? No, the baritone can go down below C. Concert C. Notice I'm doing the whole score in concert, by the way. It's a little easier to follow. Drives some people nuts, but I was never smart enough to be able to do it transposed. It was just, my brain just didn't work that way. I also make it a little easier so that it's easier to read the scores, so that I bring my tenors which are way down in the treble clef. Tenors read in treble clef. But I bring them up an octave, and that's kind of a standard thing to do. So, like when you read tenor voices and stuff like that, they're that way. Also, my articulations get a little wacky. I put my articulations on top, or where the note head is. Drives some people nuts, but that's just the way it is. I have that option, because after all, I'm Tom Kubis. Bum bum bum. Who's that guy? And so, I mean, this is basically a rough estimate of what's going on. So now I can have the computer play it back. It doesn't swing very hard. We'll go back and show what that sounds like. I can have the computer play it back as well. And so actually I have to put my tenors back down an octave, put them where they really were, so when it plays back it understands, the computer understands where this is. Let me see here if this will play. Let me give it a tempo here of 150 maybe. Now it plays it back really stiff, but it's just kind of to check the notes. So, ding. Let's see if it makes any noise. Okay. I don't know if you heard that, but it played it back and it played it back very nice. So it didn't sound like I missed. This is where I checked to see if there's any missed notes. And let me put my tenors back up here so it's kind of a readable score. Like that. There we go. So that's kind of the finished product for writing out a shout chorus. So we've done everything. We created we used the chord changes of the blues. We invented a lead line with my soprano saxophone. I added the bass trombone kind of next and voicing it out to figure out what chords I'm going to use to fill things in for the ensemble. And then I used my fourth trumpet is down an octave from my first trumpet. My other trumpets tend to be a fourth lower. So there's a fourth lower than that one and a fourth lower than that one. My trombones, these trombones, first, second, and third tend to be more piano left-hand voicings, which is like seventh, third, 13, those kinds of voicings. I did some reharmonization. Then I added my saxophones, copying the fourth trumpet down to my bass trombone, put that here, made sure that the baritone has got notes that he can play that aren't lower, he or she can play. And then I just copied my saxophones that way. That's how I do it. Again, everybody does it differently, and I've had a chance to pour through scores from everybody on the, that I can, all the great writers, and they all do it differently. This is how I do it, and it seems to work for me. I am one of those people who gets the lead line here, which is the most important thing, and then I voice it out. Other people maybe just do colors, splashes of this, that, and the other thing. I'm kind of the old school, let it groove and voice out the lead lines and have fun with it. So there you go. There's a good way of doing it. I'm going to spend another video talking about how I create my demos, so you can see how that goes. So we'll use this same score. Okay?